you can now buy a Maserati Ghibli for the price of a used Toyota Camry. And honestly, that sentence sounds fake. Because this thing has a Maserati badge on it. A badge that used to mean exclusivity, Italian luxury, and people asking, what do you do for a living? But now, you can find these online for shockingly little money. And that creates a dangerous situation. Because the Maserati Ghibli is one of those cars that looks way more expensive than it actually is. And people absolutely fall for it, including people who probably should not own a Maserati. Now, to be fair, the Ghibli was never meant to compete with normal cars. This thing was built to fight cars like the BMW 5 Series, Mercedes E-Class, and Audi A6. But Maserati being Maserati, they decided to do it in the most Italian way possible. Instead of making the smartest luxury sedan, they made the dramatic one. Because the moment you see a Ghibli, you instantly understand something. This car cares more about looking cool than being rational. And honestly, respect. Because modern luxury cars have become painfully boring. Everything now is efficient, digital, quiet, emotionless. Meanwhile, the Maserati Ghibli feels like it was designed by someone yelling and smoking cigarettes in Italy at 2 a.m. And somehow, that gives it personality. Look at the thing. Even older Ghiblis still look aggressive. Long hood, sharp headlights, low stance, huge grille. This car doesn't blend into traffic, and that matters more than people admit, because nobody turns around to look at a silver Toyota Avalon. But a Maserati? Different story. People notice it. Even people who know absolutely nothing about cars. And then there's the sound. Because even the cheaper Ghiblis still sound better than most modern luxury sedans. Especially compared to the numb turbo four-cylinder cars everyone is making now. A Maserati should sound emotional. And thankfully, this one actually does. You start it up and suddenly, your completely average grocery run feels like a scene from a mafia movie. Which is honestly part of the appeal. This is not a logical car. This is a main character car. And that's why people buy them. Not because they're reliable. Definitely not because they're cheap to maintain. But because they make normal life feel less boring. And honestly, the interior tells the same story. Does it have weird Chrysler parts in it? Yes. Do car enthusiasts constantly make fun of that? Also yes, but here's the thing. Nobody admits. Most normal people don't care. Because when you sit inside one, you still get leather everywhere, a beautiful steering wheel, analog clock in the middle, that exotic Italian atmosphere. And suddenly the cheap window switch doesn't matter quite as much. Because the car still feels special. And that's the entire point of a Maserati. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to feel expensive. And weirdly enough, it succeeds. Now, obviously, ownership is where reality starts punching you in the face. Because cheap luxury cars always come with consequences. And Maserati ownership has a reputation for a reason. Maintenance can get ugly. Electronics can get moody. Repairs can become financially offensive. And depreciation? Absolutely brutal. These things lose value like they offended the stock market personally. But honestly, that's also why they're interesting now. Because suddenly exotic-looking luxury cars are becoming attainable for normal people. And that creates temptation. A lot of temptation. Because let's be honest, if someone offered you the keys to a Maserati or a fully loaded Honda Accord for similar money, you already know which one you're picking. And that's exactly why these cars exist. They sell emotion, not logic, not practicality. Emotion? And honestly, the Ghibli might be one of the best examples of that. Because objectively, there are probably smarter cars for the money. Cars that are more reliable, more efficient, more practical. But none of those cars say Maserati on the front. None of them make random strangers think you own a nightclub. And none of them make your daily commute feel slightly illegal. That's the magic of this car. It's flawed, overdramatic, questionably engineered, and somehow still incredibly cool. Which honestly feels very Italian. So no. The Maserati Ghibli probably isn't the smartest luxury car you can buy. But it might be one of the most entertaining. And in a world where most modern cars feel like appliances, maybe that still matters. And if you enjoy videos about beautiful financial mistakes, questionable luxury cars, and vehicles that absolutely should not be this cheap, subscribe because there are a lot more bad decisions coming.